Yeah, it was a very short video. I don't read messages on here. I'm sorry, man. It's because of the whole minor stuff, bro. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want, like. I just don't know how old people are. It's not even that. It's just, you know. I just don't even want to get put into that situation. You know what I mean? I'm all good. I don't know how old you are. I don't really know you. But thanks for stopping by, though. I don't read. I don't read and reply to messages ever again. I ain't trying to flirt with no minor, I ain't trying to talk to no minor, and at the same time, I don't want to be put into a position where there's a minor in my DMs. You know what I mean? I just... Yeah, sorry. Oh wait, that's where I'm supposed to start? Oh. Let's see, is my volume... Is there anyone here? Can you give me a word? Do I have to press that? Olivia? What do you mean, Olivia? What about Olivia? Wait, are you... I'm curious. Olivia? What about Olivia? Wait, it says profit. Wait, that was actually kind of quick. Wait a second, that's actually trippy. Wait, because I've tried this before and didn't do anything. Like, I didn't ask any questions and it just, like, did nothing. Wait, what do you mean profit? Olivia profit? What does that mean? What about profit? 444-111. Is that all you got? Profit? Yo, that's... Wait a second. My phone just died too, by the way. Wait a second. It brought up profit? Wait, didn't I talk about money? Hey guys, what's up? This is your boy A1 Solution. This is Anthony's One Solution. Hopefully you're having a great day. We got a video for you. Exploring with Fighters literally exposed himself. Talked about his life, you know, things that, you know, could hurt his channel and hurt, you know, his subscribers, and people will probably unsubscribe or not or whatnot. But honestly, I think that's not true. I think people are going to respect him, hopefully. I mean, you know, he talked about certain things that, you know, he's done in his life and people he's met in his life and certain experiences, and he said that he learned from them, that, you know, there are things that, you know, they're in the past, and, you know, he knows what's right and wrong, and that's what learning's all about, and that's what life's all about. And I feel like some people have a faster way of learning than some people. Like me, I was a little bit slower. We are going to be talking about exploring with fighters. And he was buying, so we're pretty much gonna talk about his life. And, you know, I'm gonna like kind of, you know, jump off of what is said here, and you know, sometimes I'm just gonna keep going. But you know, if it's something interesting, you know, something that's happened, and you know, I might even share something that's relatable to me. You know what I mean? And you know, Pokemon cards as a kid, you know, as all of us, I mean, at least me, when I was a kid, I was very into Pokemon. I would always ask for Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Never got into Magic the Gathering or like Digimon. I did somewhat have a Digimon phase, but not as much as, like, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon. You know what I mean? Just no way. But I found it funny that he was buying and selling. The whole time as a child, I would always ask my grandma if I can have, like, you know, some money to buy a card. And she'd be like, no, it's too expensive. And nowadays, I kind of wish she said yes, because, man, I could have gotten, like, the best Charizard in the world or something like that. I'd be a millionaire right now. I got into Digimon and stuff like that, but Pokemon, you know, definitely the Pikachus, and I don't think I've ever had a shiny Charizard or anything like that. I did have shinies, but I never had, like, you know, like the good shinies and stuff like that. And I do find it funny that he was like selling Pokemon cards. Imagine selling Pokemon cards as a kid. A little 8-year-old just selling Pokemon cards, you know what I mean? Like the rare ones and all that. I just found that interesting. But I did have Pokemon. I grew up with like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! But Digimon, I had a little tiny like small moment with Digimon, but that kind of phased out. I even had a thing with Beyblades too as well. Like Beyblades, you know, the one where you like pull the string and you do that and it goes around, and we used to have like fights, you know what I mean? You used to play with your friends and like see who'd win and all that stuff. I mean, at least I did. And that's where I also was playing like handball too and stuff like that. I don't know if people play handball no more. I don't know. I don't hear people saying, hey, you want to go play handball? But that was pretty cool, doing like slices and all that stuff and all that. He was bullied in prime school, and when he got to high school, he changed a bit and grew a new persona. So he pretty much said, hey, you know what, I'm kind of fed up with this. I don't want to, you know, get bullied no more. So he started to like man up and kind of defend for himself. And I do respect that. Someone tried to mess with him in high school, and he didn't want to get bullied no more and hit the guy who tried to steal his Pokemon cards. I had to redo this, but you know, I don't think he should have hit him, right? But I do understand as a kid, you know, you don't know certain things, and certain things you don't really think of. Like you react before you think, so you're already acting, and well, reacting to the action, but you're acting to the action. You're getting triggered, pretty much. You know what I mean? And you know, he didn't want people. He didn't want to tolerate people's crap, pretty much. You know what I mean? He's a real person, and he felt like, you know, he was trying the best he can as a person, and he just was kind of fed up. He was kind of fed up with all the crap, so he kind of just said, you know what? Pah! Right to the kid, so he punched him. This is when he started to become a fighter and wanted to defend himself. He actually, you know, some people probably don't know this, but exploring with fighters actually was a part of the MMA. And actually, I'll even spoil this out now. I was supposed to talk about this later, but he actually owned his own gym, which is crazy to me. So he got pretty deep. He got pretty healthy. It's actually pretty wild seeing him super skinny, dude. It's pretty wild, you know what I mean? And then yeah, after this is when he became a fighter and wanted to defend himself. So he started to defend himself, do MMA and all that stuff. And then after high school, he went to college and took motor vehicle mechanics and welding, which is pretty crazy because welding, you get paid a lot in welding, man. Welding, like my friend said a long time, this is like 10 years ago, but back then it was like 70-60 bucks an hour or something like that, which is pretty good for a job. But you know, if you're, you know, I just think that's a kick-ass job, and I knew I wasn't good for it. That's why I never did it. I did know about it, and I just don't have the steady hands for it, man. I think I'll just shake, you know, after a couple hours. You know, yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. But I did know because my friend was into, you know, car stuff. You know what I mean? He was into like, you know, motorcycles and these. I guess my friend had I don't know what you call them, man, like doom buggies or something like that, where you go in the dirt and all that crap. So he had one of those, and I guess his family owned a car shop, like a place where you like do the oil and all that stuff, right? So, but yeah, that's crazy. So he did that, but he did get kicked. He got kicked out of college because he was fighting. So I guess he was still fighting. You know, this is what I mean. Like he didn't really learn, but you know, he's slowly learning. You know, he decided to defend himself, and then eventually he's like, you know what? I'm gonna start fighting a little more. You know, defending and fighting at the same time, and then you know he got that down. Now he's like, yo, like I just got kicked out of college, and this is actually getting pretty serious. You know what I mean? And then he was allowed to go back, but only for final exams. He worked at McDonald's for a few weeks and another place. So you know, this is just showing that, you know, he's a real person, and this is kind of why I have him so high up on my tier list, because I can feel that. And I said in my video too, like I feel like he's very authentic, and a lot of his videos are just very, you could tell, like, you know, he's very, very genuine, and he really cares what he does, and it just proves it too. Yeah, you know, so he had a bunch of like, you know, crazy jobs, and then he found a really good job later on, something to do with like exterior. I don't even know. It was something I didn't really understand, but he bought a car on his 17th birthday This is, I think he went back. I think I went back or something like that. But on his 17th birthday, this is a little bit backtracking here. But when he was 17, he bought a car and didn't tell his like parents or anything like that, and he didn't have a license. So he said, he was like, yeah, that wasn't the best idea. He was, and also he was obsessed with buying car parts. I'm not a big car person. I don't even know what I could tell you what a Nissan looks like, you know, like the older school Nissans, but not like the newer stuff. Some Toyotas, you know, some stuff, you know what I mean? I'm not really much of a car person. I'll play car games like Need for Speed or, you know, GTA or something like that, but I mean, other than that, or like Forza or whatever, but other than that, or guess Fortnite we drive it too as well. Hey, Fortnite! Do. Anyways, though, Anthony, add the Fortnite dance right there. There we go. Do a little gift thing or something like that for like a second. Now cut back in. But yeah, so he was obsessed with buying car parts, and his best friend was now he's talking about his friend too, and his friend was pretty crazy, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, his friend was kind of crazy. You know, he went to prison and he was a part of the army. You know what I mean? He did a couple of crazy things in his life, and he even stayed at Dan's place or something like that, or his mom's place, Dan's mom's place, something like that, like someone's place that's related, or something like that. But he stayed over there at some point. Apparently, his friend got into a car accident, and they were going pretty fast and ran into some railing. And the metal railings went through the windows, missed everyone else, but hit his friend through the window, and it hit his friend, and he passed away, you know? And, dude, that's like Final Destination, bro. Literally, bro. Like, imagine, like, what would you be thinking? Like, you know you're about to be in a car crash, but how do you, like, you don't even know you're gonna, like, die instantly in a second, like, that has to be like the craziest second, especially getting pinned in the head or something like that. You know, that's just that's brutal. That is a brutal. I mean, I had a friend pass away in school. No, after school. Sorry, it was like after I graduated and all this stuff. It was like a couple years after, and my friend was on drugs, and he was going downhill and didn't have a seatbelt on. He was all drugged out or something like that. He's probably on like bath salt or freaking whatever. This dude did a bunch of weird stuff, but he kind of crashed and flew straight through the window. You know what I mean? He was the first person that I knew. I'm sure of it, that I knew that passed away. And I did go to like one of those, like, it wasn't a funeral, but it was more like a gathering kind of thing. And yeah, I was just, you know, looking around and trying to find people that I knew that knew him, and you know, I was crying, and I saw a friend that I knew that was crying, and it was really sad, man. And that was probably my first time I've experienced, you know, like a big death like that was a friend, and I think it was the only one. I mean, I don't think I have had any friends, you know, like, you know, perish or, you know, something happened to them and stuff like that. But yeah, man, definitely crazy. But and also too, the one thing is, and another thing too, to add to this point where he passed away, the same exact moment the car went on fire and the body burned as well. Dan wasn't with him, by the way. Dan wasn't with him. He's telling the story of like what happened, right? So this is like a perspective where he's at home and he's kind of like in telling you what is going on, what happened. Let me rephrase that. He's kind of, you know, expressing what he was told and knew about and all this stuff. We'll get to it. But he saw people messaging about it, about his friend being dead on Facebook. He didn't think of anything of it. He thought it was just like banter. He thought it was just jokes. He thought it was just a prank. You know what I mean? He didn't believe it, right? And then then this is where it got real. His best friend's brother called him and told him the news. So they literally called him, and even that moment, he did not believe it. And by the way, even though this guy was a bad, like, you know, somewhat, you know, edgy, very, very bad person, he still found him as his best friend, you know what I mean? And then he went to the funeral, and at that point, after the funeral, there was a party, and something happened, and Dan so happened to get into a fight with someone and knocked him out. I'm gonna say it verbatim too, by the way. He said he knocked him out so hard, the dude folded like a chair.
so he went like, "Grr," you know what I mean? But you know, I mean, obviously, he's not really much. He doesn't want to fight people, but I think, you know, when you're kind of upset and you're at a party, you're probably getting intoxicated and stuff like that, and it got to the point where, you know, the anger and the intoxication just kind of mixed together, and I think that's what happened. I think, in my opinion. But one thing I want to note too is, in a way, I really hope Exploring the Fighters watches this. Exploring with Fighters, sorry. Exploring with Fighters, sorry. But if you see this, I just want to say that I'm not trying to offend no one. This is just a thought. But what if all this was supposed to happen? What if it was supposed to change you in a way to where you kind of just understood that life is not a game, and that, you know that people can perish? And I don't know, I just feel like, you know, seeing a good friend pass away must be a really big, you know, I guess you would say it's a big eye-opener of how life is gonna work. And, you know, and also too, he also talked about what Elton talked about, that time is precious, you know what I mean? And, you know, we only got so long to live here, and, you know, it's just some of the stuff that happens, the BS, the bullshit, the crap, like some of the stuff, you know, just shouldn't happen. And I got a burp. But us as people and influencers, that's why I'm trying to be the best I can and give people the message that I want to hear, and that's positivity. And I do agree with them, man. Like, I feel like, you know, a lot of us have a lot of these experiences and don't really share them, because one thing is people are going to take that for inspiration and influence, that, you know, hey, like, we can improve, hey, we can be better, hey, we can be a certain way. And us as, you know, the 30-year-olds and all that stuff, and however old other people are, or younger, or whatever, like, us as influencers or content creators, we should be spreading positive messages and, you know, staying away from the bullshit. And the whole Corey Shear and Elton stuff, like, the only reason why I'm talking about this is because I just want people to know my thoughts. Like, I just dropped a video today saying, you know, like, hey, like, you know, Corey's better without Overnight. It just makes sense. And seeing Elton and his girlfriend, or soon-to-be wife, they're getting married August 4th, by the way. I'm just so happy for them, and I'm happy for Corey too. But I'm not gonna watch this content as much as I would want to. But yeah, his brother called him, and then he went to the funeral, and then I went to set all that. He folded like a chair, and then around this time, he had a real rough time with depression and had bad thoughts. And, you know, I've definitely been there, having like bad thoughts and stuff like that, and being down in the dumps, and you know, kind of just not wanting to move, and kind of being curled up like a, you know, a worm or something like that, stuck in the dirt, or not even stuck in the dirt, just in the dirt, and you're just kind of just curled up, or you're a little burrito or something like that. You know, you're just curled up and crying and eating ice cream and watching a lot of shows or whatever you're doing. That was me. That was exposed. Am I exposing myself? He later on started to go to the gym, got more fit, so he kind of got out of the whole depression and started to work on himself. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, before even reading the notes, like, you know, I do feel like that one thing kind of changed Dan to kind of step up as himself, and, you know, work on his health, and, you know, build muscle. And in my opinion, I feel like he took his anger out on fitness, and he took his anger out on you know, getting more fit, and, you know, getting out of the depression that he was you know, that was conceived or deceiving his brain, and, you know, put him in a dark spot, and he had to kind of, you know, fight his demons a little bit, you know what I mean? And you know, he did that. He started doing the fitness stuff. I mean, now I think he's toned down a little bit. Sorry, Exploring Fighter, I'm just saying. Oh my god, don't hate me, bro. He was even doing MMA stuff, and he even had his own gym. I really respect that. So it shows that, you know, he really wanted to create a business that he loved, and he was able to talk to a bunch of people with different mindsets, you know what I mean? Especially being in that world of the MMA, like, people just have different, you know, mindsets, you know what I mean? But regardless of that, he did compete, but never was professional. He wanted he wanted fast cash, didn't have a job, and got into red diesel. So he was like going to industrial areas and had a little plan to, he was pretty much stealing and stuff like that. And he had a little plan that went on for a little bit, but his house started to smell like diesel. And then he started to find something else instead of stealing. He started to sell shoes, and it was so big. Oh yeah, also I think also too with the red diesel, I think he got raided too, by the way. I'm going to reply in the video if that's true or not. I'm trying to remember, but I think he got raided by SWAT or something like that. He said he took red diesel from he took red diesel from industrial area, and he had a little plan that went on for a little bit, but his house smelled like diesel. So wait, no, I think it was just one time. There was I think there was 2 times though. I think he got raided. I'll put in the video, whatever. I'll put in the video. I'll watch the video again. He decided to find something else instead of stealing, and then he started to sell shoes, and it was so big that he had hundreds and thousands of pounds of shoes and handbags and a bunch of other things. So he was getting down, bro. He was freaking bussing fuego. He was literally hustling. He was hustling, man. But here we go. He got so greedy with counterfeit for a bit, with the counterfeit stuff. So I think he was still. I don't know. I don't really understand that. I'll definitely put context to as well here. But he had like counterfeit stuff for a bit, and then got into like counterfeit tobacco, and then he got raided. So I'm thinking he's talking about how he. I don't know if he's like stole them or whatnot, but I'll definitely put more context. I forgot that part. He's always had an issue with working for people. See, that's one thing about me too, is I hate working for other people and stuff like that. I like being my own boss and, kind of, knowing what's going on and being a part of like the information, you know what I mean? And it sucks being, the worker and not knowing anything and always being behind the curtain, and you never know what the heck is getting talked about, you know what I mean? And I do agree with that one. Also, he got raided. After he got raided, he didn't know what to do for a few months, and he was able to build up some cash and got into YouTube. He's explored before on YouTube, so he had a bit of experience. He got into exploring with Josh, which I didn't even know. I didn't even know about this, man. But he got into exploring with Josh, and that's why he kind of got into exploring. Met Steve Ronan and Josh in 2017, a year and a half during Dan's journey. Excuse me. All right, and then fast forward to 2018, they found a femur bone in Carl. You know what's so funny though? It's not funny about the bone, but this is right around the time where I actually found his channel. It was like a little bit earlier though. I think I found it like 2018, but earlier than the video they're talking about. And it was with Carl and Proven Demons, or Andrew, and they found a femur bone, and Carl took it from an abandoned mansion, and Carl was waving the bone in a video or something like that. He was like doing some like weird stuff with the bone and stuff like that. And Proving Demons asked to do a spirit box session, and they found out something was in the wall, and they did a live stream and was knocking through the wall. They were like knocking it, like hitting it with a hammer and all that stuff, or a pickaxe, whatever the heck they had. And they knocked the wall down. They finished the live stream, and then they continued the next day. And then before they went, Andrew had this little Santa doll that he bought from a charity shop or something like that, and he wanted to throw the dolls down the chimney because actually, you know what? I really do think I could see the thought process here, because it was actually kind of funny, you know what I mean? And you see a chimney, and you so happen to have a freaking Santa Claus doll. I mean, what funnier would it be to throw the doll down the chimney, you know what I mean? Because Santa Claus goes down the chimney. I just thought that was kind of funny. Then he said he brought it from a charity shop, and then he wanted to throw the doll down the chimney because it's a Santa doll, and Andrew thought it would be funny. Dan didn't laugh that much, but I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was a really cool joke, and I guess you would say it's an inside joke because Santa Claus is inside of the chimney, and he's stuck there. He is stuck there. But yeah, so he wanted to throw the doll inside the chimney, and there were like twigs and stuff in there, and Dan wanted to put something inside the chimney, and he went and grabbed the femur bone, and stupidity, and out of stupidity, they stuck it in the wall and ringed the police, right? And he said it was a bad idea, but it happened. Police showed up and sealed the place off. He told Carl he used the bone for this video, and one of them went to the police and said it's a hoax, and the bone was taken from so-and-so mansion. The police called Dan 2 days later. The call came from Andrew's phone. I'm gonna clarify that that's true, just in case, 'cause I think I'm a little iffy about that. I think it was from his phone or from his place, calling from his place. I think something like that. I'm gonna fix that. And they wanted to know where the bone came from, and that they found the bone in the mansion. So I mean, you know, if it's real or fake, I don't know, but you know, I wouldn't have touched it. You know what I mean? I feel like touching dead people's bones is kind of, you know, against anything. I feel like that's just like that's their resting place. You know what I mean? So real or fake, I mean, just leave it there, I guess. You know. But I'm sure they learned from that. I think he said that in the video. He did learn from that. And I think he did. I'm like 99% sure he said that. But they had someone else find the bone, and no further action was taken. So yeah, so they found the bone, all that stuff, blah blah blah. And then Andrew was like the bones, like the whole area where all the bones were. And then Andrew was mad. He told about the bone. And then Dan, this is Dan said verbatim too. This is literally in quotations. I literally wrote specifically exactly what he said. He says it wasn't Andrew's fault, but Dan's, because for one, the cop or whatever that called him, he said, hey, like spess up your friend, like, you know, he told us. And then Dan's like, damn, I got played, or something like that. And then Dan learned from this moment. See, I was right. Dan learned from this moment and all that, and that it can get serious. See, I feel like a lot of these things, it just builds up. It's just a lot of life experience, and I feel like some people learn faster, some people don't learn as fast, and it's just all how you do things. And I don't know, it's just, I guess it's just the way life goes, or maybe it just depends on what you're doing in life. Like if you're very active, then you're probably going to come across these things more, because if there's more actives, there's more reactives. If you do bad things, it's going to happen more. But if you're just home playing Grand Theft Auto or something like that, nothing bad's going to happen. You're just going to be getting mad because you can't beat the mission, or you're online doing some stuff. But I don't play GTA Online, but just played the campaign. Great campaign. Very, very sad for GTA 6, by the way. It's not looking good. A lot of gaming companies are going on strike, or on strike right now, or it's been going on for a little bit. Maybe it stopped, I don't know, something like that. There was a strike, and I really do think GTA 6 will come out probably 2027. That's my prediction. I don't think it's coming out 2026. Sorry, but one thing that is coming though is Crash Bandicoot. By the way, Crash Bandicoot is going to be getting dropped on my channel, so you're probably going to see a playthrough going on with Crash Bandicoot. It's rumors though, so who knows if it's true or not, but if it does happen, you might see a Crash Bandicoot playthrough on my channel. So yeah, it's a little heads up there, a little heads up. 7-Up, huh? 7-Up. Anyways though, yeah, a bunch of people were talking about the bone, and it was a strange moment for Dan. And yes, a lot of people were talking about it, using that moment for kind of like fame and stuff like that. And you know, it was just it was a very scummy moment for him. It made him realize that there isn't true loyalty, and they're quick to turn on you when it comes to, you know, being in the, you know, whole YouTube space and stuff like that. You know, you can trust someone. It's kind of crazy because it also revolves to the whole Corey and Elton stuff too, man. Like that's just like the nail in the coffin, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, you know, you just don't know who's gonna be loyal, and the loyal in the soil, loyal in the soil. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like a plant trying to get me grown. Well, put some water on me, help me out here. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if you ain't loyal, your plant's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? It's like we want to grow through what we go through, and if we don't grow, then we're dying, and there's no loyalty here because no one's feeding me water. You know what I'm saying? And they're quick to turn on you, and that's pretty true. You know what I mean? That's pretty true. He wanted to show people where he came from in his video. He kind of wanted to explain, you know, why his name is Exploring with Fighters, why he is who he is today, and that it's never too late to change. He talked about how he thanks the community and supporters for watching his videos, and that it means a lot to him. He thanks people for watching his content. He has a massive 50-day trip coming up, and uploading more on his vlog channel because he wants to give back more. He says he talked about how time is precious, and you know, time is always ticking, and people use their time to watch your content, our content, his content. Anyone, it's the same for everyone, but you know, people watch it for a reason, and he said he wants to work harder. He wants to work harder on his content, and that he wants to just kind of improve. He's always been the same on YouTube and in person, so he's saying that he's pretty authentic. He's a genuine person. He's real. He's phenomenally real, and he tries his best to make the content that people like, and keeps. He did admit. I do appreciate it. He did admit. He did kind of expose himself here in a way. He said that, you know, some of his videos weren't the best videos, and he dropped them, and he was talking about how people, you know, spend their time to, you know, watch these videos, and you know, I really respect that, because not only do you respect yourself as a person and that you want to grow, and after reading all this, you could see like he's just been slowly growing. It took him a bit, you know, past college, all that stuff, got a little bit older, did some other things, got into another fight later on. But you know, all that, and then exploring with Josh, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, it happens for a reason, dude. Like, you know, that all that stuff happened for a reason. For this, you're supposed to be here for a reason. And Exploring with Fighters Dan is saying that he's not going to take this for granted. He's here for a reason. He's gone through a lot of shit. And this is just stuff that he remembers, I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of other stuff has happened too, but you know, I'll talk more about that later on in the video, about what I think about all this. But anyways, though, he's always been the same on YouTube and in person, so he's just pretty authentic. He's also talked about being low on money and struggling, so he's gotten to the point where he had like no electricity, he had, you know, low on food, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So he went through a struggle in his life for sure. And then, you know, later on, you know, I don't know when, I think he talked about being low on money and struggling. I think he talked about that in the past, like, you know, like in his past, right? So that's why it sounds a little weird. But so yeah, so he had moments like that. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, he had a bunch of things that kind of like pushed him up there, you know what I mean? And then Dan also said Randomatika is real, and that it was also for entertainment. See, this is the one thing, man. I think he saw my tier list video, because I talked about it. I don't know when he made this video. I don't think he saw my tier list video. I don't know. It could be, because the only reason why I'm saying he saw my tier list is because he dropped this video like 6 days after, but I think he's been talking about it for a bit. I don't know, but it was kind of, it felt like it was a direct, like, hey, like, no, Randomatika's real. It's for entertainment purposes, and also it was also some real too. So I don't know what that means. Does it mean like, you know, they just try to see what they got and they never got anything, but it was just for fun? Is that what it means? Because like when someone says that, like, as an American, it sounds like, oh, it's just for, you know, we made some stuff up or something like that. But you know, as he said, though, he says it's all real. So I do respect that, man. I do respect him, you know, kind of answering that, because I'm always so curious because, you know, a lot nowadays, man, there's people lying and stuff like that. You, like on Twitter, like people need to get fact checked, you know, because there's so many like false informations, you know, false, you know, pages and just everything, man. But I do appreciate that, Dan. You're a real. I'll get to that. But thank you for that. Thank you for specifying about that. And he also said that Randomatika saved his life too as well, and it also helped his channel during COVID. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, man, if it helped his channel, and even if it is fake, man, hey, you know, that's good. I don't want people like struggling, you know what I mean? Because he cares about money. If he's gonna, you know, do the Randomatika for the money, and you know, he wanted to see what the app was all about, and it turned out to be pretty crazy for him, and you know, I respect that, man. I respect that. So to kind of like go off of my notes, I'm gonna do that in a second though. Hey, what's up? To go off my notes though, I do really respect exploring with Dan. I respect who he is as a person, and every time I see him in videos, I always get excited because, you know, I love the way he thinks, and that's why I made my tier list, because every single person on that tier list, I love how they think. They all think differently. They all think, you know, different thoughts on different things, on different situations, on different, you know, spectrums and stuff like that. You know, you got Chris Starr, oh my gosh, and then you got Kelsey, then you got Sam and Colby, you got Elton, and then you got, you know, a bunch of just other people. Also, there's also Franco TV, but I think, you know, I don't watch him as much though, so I don't really know much about that. But you know, I've seen some videos. I've seen some, like, you know, popular videos and stuff like that. But you know, exploring with fighters, man, I really do respect him coming out, you know, talking about his life, because I feel like not a lot of YouTubers talk about their life, you know, how crappy their life is, because I think people would respect content creators more and take them more seriously, you know what I mean? Because when you're just like playing a persona and being this, like, you know, someone you're not, or maybe you're trying to just be manly or girly or whatever, I don't know if you're a boy or girl, whatever. You, like, I feel like just like sitting down and being real sometimes, and just talking to your fans and being like, you know what, hey guys, I just want to talk to you guys about my life. Because like sometimes, actually most of the time, people love hearing that because they want to hear stories, because those stories could literally help someone improve and gain experience and knowledge based off of that one video. Just small stories, maybe they can apply to your life and you can learn from that. Maybe someone younger saw this and were like, you know what, I shouldn't really bully no more, because maybe I'm gonna get my ass kicked, or maybe, you know, I'm gonna kick someone's ass and something bad's gonna happen, and, you know, they're probably gonna pass away or whatever, you know. It's just it's just you know, I just cherish who he is as a person, and I love that he wanted to come clean, you know what I mean? He wanted to show that he is a person, that he's human, that he's, you know, he's gone through stuff, and that he has had things happen to him, and he's human. You know, he's not perfect, you know, he's definitely broken the law, he's definitely, you know, done dumb stuff, but at the end of the day, he's coming clean, and that's something I like, man, and that's something I wish Corey Shear did. I kind of wish Corey Shear came clean, and I kind of wish he started to, you know, talk about what's going on, but he hasn't. No live stream, none of that. But at the end of the day, exploring with fighters, oh, hey, how's it going? I'm good. Oh, it's out there. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. Edit that out. That's getting edited out. But I really do. I love your content, Exploring with Fighters. I just wanted to make this little recap video, and I just wanted to say thank you for all your videos. I can't wait for your future videos. I can't wait to see what you do with your videos, and I'm just so excited to see
what's gonna go down. I think you got a what was it? You got a few trips coming up or something like that. I'm going 50-day trip. He's gonna do. He said it's one of his biggest trips. And exploring with fighters, I was absolutely right when I made my tier list, man. When I made my tier list, you were in S tier for a reason, and I'm glad you made that video. That kind of confirmed that I'm on the right path. The people I follow are the truthers, the people that just kind of make content and try to be the best they can, and they work hard. And the reason why they're all there is because they work hard, and that's why they're there. And I'm very impressed at I'm very impressed at what you've done, and thank you again for confirming about the Randomatika, because I was very skeptical about all that stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm glad I know now. Thank you, because I was very I thought people were faking it, but I guess not. I mean, if it is real and stuff like that, I just my thought process is like, why do that? I mean, if crazy stuff's gonna happen, why do that? You know what I mean? But hey, if it helped save your channel, I mean, that's totally cool, man. That's totally cool. But thank you for the video, though. I do think it shows that you have massive just cojones, and you want to just express yourself. And I did hear you say that this is your only video so of this kind, and I do respect it, man. I'm glad that you came out of the the hibernation of this and kind of just spoke about your thoughts on yourself and just things that people probably will think bad about you on and probably just not watch you anymore, but you took the risk, and I do appreciate that, man. But in my mind, I think people are going to respect it, because you're doing what Corey Shear's not doing. You're doing exactly what Corey Shear's not doing. All Corey Shear has to go on his live stream and say, hey, like like this is all it's all bullshit, and I shouldn't have had that TikTok, dropped it, but keeping it up, you know what I mean? So I just want to say thank you to everyone that has watched this video. I just wanted to react to this and give a little recap. Hopefully that was good enough. But anyways, though, have a great day. Stay A1, and goodbye.